Well, hello everybody. Welcome to the second game in the 1977 National League Everyday Playthrough, picking a game a day. Get my setup going here because I'm switching back and forth between season ticket, Stratomatic, and now Inside Pitch. So I kind of have a different setup for each one of these, and I want to make sure I get something that looks reasonable for each one. So things tilted like crazy. And hello, Ben. Pardon me while I get this figured out here. Don't know why it's looking like a slant. That doesn't make any sense. Very strange how that plays out, where it's looking like it's slanted. I think that's the best I'm going to be able to do with it right here. I think that's the best I can do. Yes, Brian B. Of course, you won't see that on that other channel now, will you? Of course you won't. You're not going to see this on the other channel. All right, Ben, thank you. I appreciate that. Cutting off a little bit of the Pirate bullpen. So I'll get rid of the St. Louis logo so we can try to get all the bullpen guys in there, because Forster and Jackson are in the bullpen, two lefties. You got four right-handers, Demery, Gossage, Odell Jones, DeColvey from the right side, Forster and Jackson from the left side. For the bench players, Fernando Gonzalez, Tommy Helms, Mario Mendoza, Bill Robinson from the right side, Miguel Delaney, Ed Kirkpatrick, and Ed Ott from the left side. For the Cardinals on their bench, Mike Anderson, Jerry Devanin, Roger Freed, and Joel Youngblood from the right side. Two switch hitters, Kessinger and Mumphrey, and Scott, actually three switch hitters. And then Doug Rader, the catcher, backup catcher, a left-hander. In the bullpen, we got Clay Carroll, John D'Acquisto, Sutton, Urea from the right side, and of course the Mad Hungarian, Al Rabowski from the left-hand side. All right. So the first game we did, of course, was the Reds and the Padres. That was the April 6th game. This is the April 7th game. The April 8th game will be from the Astrodome. It will be the Atlanta Braves and the Houston Astros. Andy Messersmith for the Braves and J.R. Richard for the Astros. That will be probably Tuesday or Wednesday, because tomorrow, if I get a game in tomorrow at all, it'll be Stratomatic. And that would be the Orioles and the Twins from the Metrodome. All right, we got our Pittsburgh colored dice. And again, this is all version 3, no version 4 at all. I am boycotting version 4 all the way. How's Tabby doing? She's doing okay. She got her frontline dose today. We always give it to her in the first part of the month, and she was not happy about getting that. But she's getting over it a little bit. She's right outside the door. She may end up pushing the door open and sticking her nose in just like she did last night, but it's hard to say. I'm not going to coax her to come in here. If she wants to come in here, she can. She's free to do so. If she doesn't, she doesn't. Yes, hardwood times have definitely changed. Actually, for 1967, that old Stratomatic, I was originally planning, it just fell through. But there was a guy that used to do some videos on there called Espo Strat, and we were going to do a co-op on that, and that just fell through. So 67 is a great season. I still wouldn't mind maybe doing a full replay. I did the pennant race in Inside Pitch 1967 where I played all the September games of the American League. But I don't know. We'll figure it out. I got so much stuff on the agenda. I don't want to. I'm probably already stretching myself thin as it is. But I'm having fun, and that's all that matters. Plus, I'm getting close to retirement, so once I retire, I have a whole lot more time to do this stuff. All right. So we are ready to get going. Well, I appreciate that, Hardwood. Sometimes I wonder if, I don't want to. Sometimes I wonder if putting out too many games, if you put out too much content, maybe it's overkill, and people see you too often, and maybe that's not a good thing. I don't know. Hello, Mr. Robert. I knew hockey. I haven't looked at the score. Last time I saw in the first quarter, at the end of the first quarter, was 2-0 St. Louis. I have no idea what it is right now. I haven't checked it out to see what the score is updated. Not really a big hockey fan. I watch the Capitals a little bit just because they're local. St. Louis 3, Winnipeg 1. Okay, cool. Although I do remember somebody saying earlier today that they had Winnipeg winning at home, but I could be wrong. But could be wrong on that, but I thought I heard that. So, all right, we are at Three River Stadium in Pittsburgh. You see the starting lineups here. You see your benches and your bullpens. Pitching for the Pirates, Jerry Rolls-Royce. Rolls-Royce will be pitching. Lou Brock will be the first batter of the game. These are strictly version 3 rules. The only one, and RJL mentioned it in his State of the Channel address, which I was not aware of, but it kind of makes sense a little bit now that I've heard about it. Actually, I heard about it. Me, Clinton, I'm in Virginia. I'm in the Richmond area, just south of Richmond. The rule, when I first heard about it, I didn't like it, but now the more I thought about it, maybe it makes sense. And that's the wild pitch. If nobody's on base, treating it as a blank instead of re-rolling on the pitcher. So I'm thinking about doing that. There was another one RJL mentioned when it was the SI parentheses. I believe he said, and correct me if I'm wrong on this, Robert, I believe you said your house rule was to change this to an automatic out. I'm not sure what version 4 was doing with it. You said something about 2 stars or 2 asterisks or something. But I remember in watching your thing today, I thought you said you changed this to a automatic out when it's a pitcher tired roll and he's not tired. But I could be wrong on that. I have to go back and watch everything. But I'm pretty much sticking to straight 3 and version 3. The only thing I might consider doing is changing this, and I think I am going to do it. I'm going to change the wild pitch. Let's see here. The S1 changed to an auto out when not tired because Chris added star S1 to his new sets. I'm not sure what star S1 means. I know what the S1 means, but I don't know what the double star means. I know yours is a house rule, but what does the official version 4 rule of a star mean? I don't have those. I don't know what that means. Does that mean it's a single 2 stars like it is in Strat, where it's a single 2 base advancement automatically? I don't know what the whole gist on that is, but anyway, I'm gonna keep this as is. I'm not going to change that, but I will change the wild pitch. And if we roll a wild pitch with nobody on base or no wild pitch on base, I'm going to not treat it as ball 1. I'm going to treat it as a blank. Oh, auto out. Okay, gotcha. I'm going to treat it as a blank, and instead of having to re-roll again on the pitcher, I'm just going to go straight to the batter. That's the one thing I think I am going to pick up from version 4. Thank you, Phoenix. I appreciate that. Yeah, Royce doesn't have any automatic outs on his card. So what you're saying here is, since he doesn't have any automatic outs on his card, if he hits this S1 result and he's not tired, it should change to an automatic out. I may adopt that house rule myself, RJL, particularly for a pitcher. I think that's actually a good rule. So I think I am going to go ahead and thank you, Mark. I appreciate that. We try to do our best. Just try to show our love for the hobby and for the sport itself, and hopefully that comes through. But I think I am now going to take this to heart. And if we get an S1, now what about this? The pitcher result is we don't change that, right? It goes straight. We still stick with the pitcher result. Is that correct, Robert, or whoever wants to chime in, Ben, whoever? If we roll the pitcher result and he's not tired, if we get the double question mark and he's not tired, do we go straight to this, or do we count that as an automatic out also? No automatic out on that. We go straight to this result over here. Okay. All right. So my 2 things I'm going to adopt: if it's a wild pitch and nobody's on base, I'm going to treat it as a blank and go straight to the batter. And if we roll this S1 parentheses and he's not tired, I'm going to call it an automatic out. Okay. That's the 2 things I'm going to adopt. Everything else is version 3. I'm not changing anything else whatsoever. All right, with those preambles out of the way, let's get this game going before it gets any later. All right, here's Jerry Royce to Lou Brock. We get a 6-3, and that is a strikeout chance to the left-handed batter. His strikeout is an 11 against lefties. Stadium takes away 1, makes it a 10. That is a 10. It still fits. Lou Brock is out on strikes. 1 away, and that brings up Gary Templeton, shortstop. 6-3, same result, but Templeton, switch hitter, makes that a blank. So we go to Templeton to finish out. 1-2, that's a single to center field for Gary Templeton. His attempt is a 6, pretty good. See if he can get the lead. He cannot. So Templeton will hold. And here's Bake McBride in his Philadelphia Philly outfit. One of the terrible trades the Cardinals made in that season. They got Philadelphia just did a number on St. Louis on that trade, that's for sure. Royce, 5-2. That's a wild pitch. So here comes the first rule is going to come into play. 5-2 wild pitch. I'm going to treat it as a blank. We're not going to re-roll on Royce. We're going straight to McBride. I think they help speed the game up a little bit. So I do kind of like that. Oh, wait a minute. What am I doing? We got a guy on base. My bad. And I don't know what the D20 was originally. So now I got to re-roll because I don't know what the thing was originally. Wild pitch. Does everyone remember the roll was a 4? So it was a wild pitch then, right? So I have to treat it as a wild pitch because it was. You guys are perceptive. I'm glad you caught that. So it is a wild pitch. I was so interested in not doing the rule that I forgot I had somebody on base. So since it was a 4, that falls in the 1 to 9 range. So it is a wild pitch. How about that? So Templeton will take second base on the wild pitch. Nothing on strategy. And Royce to McBride. 1-6 is a range play. Range play. 2-2, that's a star 5, which is a ground ball to short. We're checking the range of the shortstop. That's Frank Taveras. He's a 4. Taveras is a 4. And he gets it and throws him out. So 2 down. Now Templeton is a 4 speed. So on a ground ball to short, we're going to roll and see if he can make it to third base. That is a 4, so I believe he makes it to third base. Let me double check on that. Runner holds on ball short. If it's higher than the BR of runner, otherwise advance to third. So it's not higher, it's the same. So the runner does go to third. Hello, Triple G. So Templeton will take third on the throw, and there's 2 away. All right, 2 down. Templeton is at third for Hector Cruz. I think they also called him Heidi Cruz. Royce, 1-4. That's at the ballpark, going to Three River Stadium for the first time. Oh, that yellow die stuck to my hand, so it didn't go through the tray. Let's try this again. 4-1, and that's a pop-up to second. Now, I know in the new rules there's some kind of a range check or error check on that. I'm not buying that. That's a pop-out to the catcher, and that's the end of it. So that's something I'm not dealing with in version 3.2 or 3.5, or what do you want to call it. I'm not dealing with that. So it's just a pop-out. Some things I'll take from version 4, but that's not one of them. All right, we go to the bottom of the first, no score. Hello, Utah Mike. Good to see you. Yeah, I think they got Dane Orge, Underwood, and Rick Bossetti or something. And none of them turned out to be much of anything. And, of course, Bake McBride was an integral part of the Phillies in the late 70s. All right, here's Moreno facing Denny. 6-2, that's a range play. We're going to Moreno's card for the range check. And that's a 3-2. That's a single to second base, but we got a range check on Mike Tyson. And he's a 5. He could knock this hit out with a 5 or less. And he does. So takes the hit away from Moreno as he is retired 4-3. 1 down for Frank Taveras. 2-1, and that is a single, but he's not tired, so that is now an automatic out. Automatic out because he has no automatic outs on his card. That is an automatic out. And the automatic out is going to be a ground ball to second. So that's the way you play it, right? I've got the S1. He wasn't tired. Treat it as an automatic out. And that's what I did. So hopefully that's the way you guys play it as well with the homebrew or whatever. The S1 turns into an automatic out because he wasn't tired. All right, so Tavares is out of there. 2 ground balls to second for Denny. And that brings up Dave Parker, the Cobra. 5-6. Wild pitch. It's a ball. And we normally would call it a ball, but now we're going to call it a blank. We're going straight to Parker. 6-1. Star 6 is a ground ball to short. So 3 ground ball outs. Takes care of that. There are a couple things on version 4 I can get along with, but some of the things I think are bogus, and I'm not going to be a part of it. I'm not going to be guilty by association. So I'll just have my version 3 and enjoy it. But again, play the game you want to play the way you want to play it. All right, here is Rolls Royce facing Ted Simmons. 1-3, strikeout chance. That's a 4. That's too much. He is a 6. Stadium even takes away 1, makes him a 5. I'm sorry, the 4 fits it. What am I doing? I got to remember what I'm doing here. That is a strikeout. I'm playing so many games, I'm getting confused on there. I remember that snow game in Toronto when I was doing the White Sox Stratomatic 77 replay. That was my opening day game. I definitely remember researching that and watching that. Here is RJL's favorite player, Keith Hernandez. 6-5. That is a possible error on a ground ball. 4-6. That's a single to left field. Single to left field. Error on the left fielder. Oliver is only a 4. That's a 5, so there is no error. But Keith Hernandez is aboard on a single. His attempt is a 2. Nothing happening. Brings up Ken Reitz. 6-4, and that's a blank. We go to Ken Reitz. 4-6, ground ball to third, possible double play. He's a 3. 0. Halfway is a 4. The pivot at second is Stennett. He's a 0. So it's a 1-4 for a double play. And they turn it 5-4-3 around the horn. Takes care of the Cardinals. Takes care of the Cardinals. Now we go to the bottom of the second, and the Hall of Very Goods, Al Oliver. You could actually make a I think you could almost make a case for Al Oliver being in the Hall of Fame. I mean, he's very, very close if he's not there. You got that right, Chuck. Here is Oliver, 2-6, strikeout. And he strikes out only as a 3. Stadium even takes 1 away, so the 6 is not fit. We go to Al Oliver. 1-5 for Oliver, grounded to short. So 4 ground ball outs by John Denny to start this game. And here comes Pop Stargell. Pops. 5-2, hit by pitch chance. Stargell's a 10 plus 7 for the 17, so that 12 fits, and Pops gets hit by the pitch. How about that? Stargell, a 10 rating. That's pretty good. He has no attempt to steal, though, but we will roll the strategy because there could be a pickoff or a balk. If we get that 20, we do not. Here's Rennie Stennett. 1-1, possible error on a ground ball. 5-3, power result to left field. Against a right-hander, it goes up to 9. That's a 7. That's a double to left field. A double to left. The error rating of the left fielder is Brock. He's an 8. That's a 20. No error there. But we'll see if he can score on the double. Stargell, though, only runs at a 2, so that's kind of going to hinder him. Brock's arm's a +1, though. That would help make him a 3. But a double to left, you lose 1, makes it a 2. So a 1-2, he can score. And he does. How about that? Stargell comes in to score on the double. He was chugging around there. He's going to need some oxygen when he gets back to the dugout. But it's an RBI double for Rennie Stennett off of John Denny. Hello, Dan. Good to see you. All right, so 1-0 Pirates. And Phil Garner, the batter. 2-2 is a blank. We go to Garner. 4-5. That's a ground. I'm sorry. 4-5 is a ground ball to short. 2 down. Stennett is a 3. So he will make it to third base. 2 down with a runner at third. And that's going to send up Duffy Dyer. 2-3, and Duffy Dyer is a right-handed hitter. That's a strikeout chance. 10. He's an 11 -1. It's 10. It fits. Struck him out. Ends the inning. Pirates get a run, take a 1-0 lead after 2. I hear Tabby out there. I don't know if she's trying to get in here or not. I'm going to take a quick look just to see. A couple seconds of a standby while I do a Tabby check. Oh, false alarm. She poked her head in here, looked around a little bit, and then ran right back downstairs. So I guess she wasn't interested. She just wanted to see what I was doing. So Mike Tyson steps to the plate. 2-6 for Royce is a blank. We go to Tyson. 5-3 is a liner right to the shortstop, Tavares. That's out number 1. How's everybody? Is everybody okay with this setup that I have? I don't have, or would you prefer it like a RJL type where you have the board and the cards running around and stuff like that? Or do you like seeing the score sheet? Is this agreeable with everybody? Okay, I will keep it as is. All right. Thank you all for the feedback. Definitely pay attention to it, and I like to know what's going on. I want to make sure that give you guys what you prefer. Here's the pitcher, John Denny. He was an 098 hitter in the 77 season. 2-1 is a blank. We go to Denny. 5-3 is a fly ball to right field. Parker hauls it in. 2 down. And we're back to the top of the order, and Lou Brock. Two is a blank again. Brock, his first time up, was out on strikes. This time he's going to ground it to Tavares at short. Royce makes quick work of the Cardinals. And we go to the bottom of the third, still 1-0. Buccos. Again, the April 8th game, the next game in the Inside Pitch 1977 National League Everyday Game of the Day playthrough will be from Houston, Atlanta Braves, Houston Astros. And that'll be Andy Messersmith for the Braves against J.R. Richard for the Astros. Want to get all teams in the first week, and then after that, I'm going to pick the best game available. All right, here is Jerry Royce. He's a 171 hitter. Denny, 6'6", walk plus. That's interesting. That makes him a 19. Stadium takes away 2, makes it a 17. That 18 fails. Ooh. Stadium just cost him a walk. How about that? So we go to Royce. 1-2, and he's going to ground it to first base where Mr. Gold Glove Keith Hernandez takes care of it. One away. Ryan B., in my games, all bench players better be on the ready, is all I can say. Because they can be called upon at any time. I like to use my whole roster. Denny, 3-4. And that is a strikeout chance. 20, though, is way too high. So Moreno will get a hack. 4-4. And it's a star 2, which is a ground ball to Hernandez again. So Hernandez takes care of both of them. Yes, Michael, if we were all the same, there'd be no point in having different channels. We just, we'll combine to one channel and leave it at that. It's good to have different styles and different games that are being played. That way you get a nice variety. And no one channel is necessarily better than the other. It's just different. Here's Taveras. 1-1. That's a possible error on a ground ball. 2-6. That is a fly to center field, so no error to worry about there at all. The inning's over. One thing you're not going to see on this channel that you do on the other channels, like the two uncles, Gardner and Juckett, and to a lesser extent on RJL, is the just straight out chat about what's going on in the world or whatever. I'm just going to play games. I mean, that one exception I had was when me and RJL talked about how good of a game Inside Pitch was. That was about the only time I did that. Otherwise, it's just going to be straight games. And you're rarely going to see my mug. So, all right, Gary Templeton. For 3, and that is a possible error on a throw. 3-4, and 3-4 split chance. That's a ground ball to first. So Stargell's going to field it and flip to Royce. There is a possible error on that. Stargell's error rating is an 11. Stargell's error rating was 11, but this was a 1, if I'm not mistaken. I think I just hit it, but I believe it was a 1. So that means there's no error on the play. So Stargell will field it, flip to Royce covering for a 3-1 putout. 1 away. I agree, Dan. I mean, it's amazing. The last couple of years, I went from watching cable and satellite TV to now, when I turn on the TV, the first thing I go to is YouTube. So it's become my favorite TV channel is YouTube. And I watch a lot of other things besides gaming. I watch other stuff too, but it's just my first go-to for whatever reason. And when I'm working, driving around, I like to listen to it if I can't watch it. So here is Bake McBride, 4-3. Same result we had last time. Error on a throw, possibly. 6-4. That's a single to right field. No worry about a throw, error on throw, because there's no throw to be had. McBride singles. And his attempt is an 8. Nope, nothing happening. We go to Hector Cruz, or Heidi Cruz, or whatever you want to call him. 3-2 strikeout chance. 18, though, is way too high. And a 2-2 is a star 2, which is a ground ball to second, possible double play. He's a 2, 0. Halfway is a 3. The pivot at short. Taveras is a 0. 1-3, we got a double play. We do not. It's a 6. Runner's going to advance. Only play was to first base, and McBride will take second. So runner in scoring position, as one of the streaming YouTube channels that does Strat likes to say, it's a clutch situation. And Ted Simmons is your batter. Royce to Simmons. 6-3, and that's a blank to a switch hitter batting right-handed. Go to Simmons card. 2-5, and that's a star 5, ground ball to short. That's going to end the inning. 1-0 ball game. We go to the bottom of the 4th here from the stadium by the Three Rivers. And due up for the Buccos, it'll be Parker, Oliver, and Stargell, heart of the order. Heart of the order. Denny, 2-5. That's the ballpark result. Going to Three Rivers Stadium for the ballpark card. See what happens on that. 4-4 is a fly to left field. So Parker, opposite field job, but Lou Brock is there, one away. And here is Al Oliver. Denny, 5-6. Wild pitch. So again, I'm going to treat that as a blank. We're going straight to Oliver's card. 1-5, ground ball to short. 2 down, and that brings up Wilbur Stargell. I think I do like the using that as a blank now. I'm kind of just doing it this one game. I kind of like it. So Denny, 3-2. That's a walk plus. That's trouble. Stargell walks at a 12. -2 is a 10, but the plus is a 20, so the 18 fits, and Stargell will walk. He's been hit by a pitch, and now he walks. So strategy roll looking for a 20. Don't get it, so nothing going on. Here's Rennie Stennett. Had the RBI double. For the only run of the game. 1-4, range play. Range play for somebody. Who is the range play? 3-3, star 6. That's a ground ball to short. Templeton. His range is a 3. And he can't get it. It's going to get by him for a base hit. That's an S6. To go from first to third on an S6. You better have a 5 or higher. Stargell doesn't have it, so it's going to be a one-base advancement. But runners at first and second with 2 outs for Phil Garner. Scrap iron. For 1, that is a strikeout, but he's not tired. Now, was there something going on with this that was being home brewed? I'm trying to remember. I thought I saw something where a strikeout walk was home brewed. I think they were saying it goes to a home run if he's tired or something. Wow, Winnipeg tied it with 1.6 seconds. Wow, that's freaking wild. You guys should be watching that, not watching me. So RJL or somebody did they do that? Was there something done with this as a home brew, the K/W? Or is that only if he's tired and it goes to a home run? Somebody can let me know. If not, I'm just going to treat it as a blank and move on. Could be a home run chance of tired. So if he's not tired, we keep the strikeout result, correct? Or strikeout chance is what I'm guessing. So strikeout here, he's going to be struck out. So it's going to end the inning. Since he wasn't tired, I guess it was a moot point. So we go to the top of the 5th. I know I'm competing with the hockey game, but if I wait till the hockey game was over, I'm going to start this game till 10 o'clock, and I got to go to work in the morning, so I don't want to be up all night. All right, Keith Hernandez, somebody's favorite player out there. I do too, Dan. That's what got me interested in the 77 season to begin with, way back a couple years ago, was I got that DVD. Unfortunately, it's not the whole season. At least the one I have doesn't start until like July or something. It's kind of like half a season or something. But anyway, those were fun memories back then. Royce, 3-1 ballpark card going to Three Rivers Stadium for Keith Hernandez's at bat. We get a 4-1. It's a pop up to second to the catcher, and again, I'm not messing with that. I'm keeping the original pop up to the catcher. I'm not worried about a range play or an error play or any of that stuff. That's something I'm not going to mess with. Here's Ken Reitz, 5-2, and that's a wild pitch. So again, I'm going to treat it as a blank, like they do in version 4. I'm going to treat it as a blank, go straight to Reitz. 3-3, and it's a single pass short. So Ken Reitz gets himself a single. His attempt is a 1. Nothing happening. And here comes Mike Tyson. 2-3. That's a range play at the park. Range play at the park. 5-4. That's a single to right field, but it's a range check on Parker. His range is a 5. And Parker takes that hit away from Tyson. So 2 down, and that's going to bring up John Denny. Boy, amazing. The Pirates have 2 5 rated outfielders and a 5 rated infielder and a 4 and a 4. They've got the range stuff covered, man. The only one that's bad is Stargell. Everybody else is a above average fielder. All right, here is John Denny. Royce, 6-3 is a blank. We go to Denny's card. 1-2, ground ball to short. That's going to end the inning. We go to the bottom of the fifth, still 1-0 Bucks. Colin, from my vantage point, I just like version 3, and I don't. The promise or the big selling point was when they came out with version 3, they said, this is the end all right here. You get this, you got everything. And then all of a sudden now they want to go change everything. So and they're going to be redoing the cards, so I just I like this game. It was fine the way it was. It didn't need to be fixed. So I just prefer the original version. It's not that I necessarily have anything against version 4. I just like version 3 and I want to stick with it. Here's Duffy Dyer, 1-1, possible error on a ground ball. 4-5, and that is a single to right field. Possible error on a ground ball. Well, at the right fielder is Cruz. He's a 7. That's a 2. That's going to be an error. So it's a single plus an error. I think it's been a while since I played this, but I think you do it on an error on a ground ball. If it's a single to right, I still think you check for the error, if I'm not mistaken, because it's a line drive, but it still goes on the ground. So I'm guessing you still check for an error, and we got a 2, so that falls within the error range. So in my mind, it's a single plus an error. E9 on Cruz. All right, Ben, you're saying something stays a single. Yeah, ID Jester was the one that was ranting because he couldn't figure out how to play the freaking game. Instead of reading the rules and figuring it out, he was trying to go on the fly and made some kind of rant, and that got the Chris Davis all upset. Apparently, I don't know the whole story. I'm just going by what I hear. I don't know the whole story on it. But anyway, all right. So single plus the error, and that puts Dyer at second base with nobody out. And here's Jerry Royce. Denny to Royce. 1-2 is a walk plus. How about that? And he's going to walk Jerry Royce. You like that? First and second, nobody out for Omar Moreno. You would think Moreno would be a good bunter, but he's only rated as a 1. So we're going to have him swing away with that being the case. 6-2 is a range play. But funny, I didn't hear Hal Richmond go and make any changes when ID Jester made 2 rants about Strat. But all right, so 6-2 is a range play. So we're going to Moreno for the range play. 2-4, and that is a fly ball to left field where we're checking the range of Brock, which is only a 1. So this could be trouble right here. And it is. That's going to drop in for a base hit. Might be a double. Nope, just a single to left. And we'll see if that scores the run or not. Dyer doesn't run well. It only runs at a 1. Brock's a +1, though, makes it a 2. Single to left. You add 1, so that makes him a 3. 1-3, and Dyer will score. And he does. And since we got a 1, the other runners have a chance to move up. Royce, though, is only a 1. but he makes it too. So I think everybody will move up if that's the case. Somebody can correct me on that if that's not the case. But going to try for home, rolled a 1, so that means we check the other runners to see if they can advance. Royce's speed is a 1, and that's a 1. And of course, Moreno beats the 1 with the 4, so I believe they all move up, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm not mistaken, Royce goes to. But is that really realistic? Is Royce really going to go to third on that? See, some of that stuff is a little iffy because realistically, I don't think Royce would have done that, being a bad base runner that he is. Even though I rolled a 1, I just don't think that overrides that. So I'm going to. I'm thinking I'm going to just leave Royce at second base and leave it at that. So Frank Tavares steps to the plate. First and second, one out and one. I'm sorry, nobody out and one in. Tavares is a 5 bunter. Wow, I think we might bunt on this one. First new strategy. All right, now we're going to roll on the pitcher card, see if there's a strikeout chance. 3-4 is a strikeout chance. 3-4, but you cut that in half, make it a 9. He is a 9, but the stadium takes 1 away, so that's an 8, so he does not strike out. So we're going to our bunt chart. And he becomes a 4 bunter with the corners in. So we're looking at this column right here, 1 to 14. He's got a good bunt. First of all, we'll see who fields it. It's fielded by the catcher. So the catcher, Simmons, has to come out and get it. That's a 15, so it's a foul. Foul off, redo attempt. So we're going to redo the bunt because of a foul. Or actually, they might just pull off the bunt and just swing away now. I think they're going to call the bunt off and just have them swing away. So we're going to redo the whole at bat. Denny to Tavares. 6-4 is a walk chance. 16, though, is too high. So we go to Tavares. 4-3, it's a ground ball to short. Possible double play. He's a 1. Nothing there. Halfway is a 2. Pivot at second is a +1 for a 3. 1 to 3, we got a double play. It's a 6. Runners are going to advance. So Tavares grounds out to Templeton. 6-3. Moreno will go to second, and Royce will go to third. So it acted just like a sacrifice, but he is charging at bat. Now, second and third with 1 out and 1 in, 2-0 Pirates. They could walk Parker to set up a double play, and I think that's what they're going to do. They're going to intentionally walk Parker, and that sets up a force at any base. And he's got now Oliver to ground to short twice. So double play candidate right there. Strategy roll, nothing happening. Denny, 4-5 is a blank. We go to Oliver. 5-6, that's a fly to left, possible sacrifice fly. He's a 3. No, that does not work. Lead runner Royce is only a 1. Brock is a +1. Needs a 2 or less. And he gets it. So how about that? Sacrifice fly from Al Oliver. Al Oliver with the sacrifice fly. It's now 3-0 Pirates. 2 runs are in. 2 outs. 2 on for Stargell. Denny, 5-4, strikeout chance, 15. Got him. Stargell is out of there, but the Pirates pick up 2 more. And we go to the 6th with the score Pittsburgh 3 and St. Louis nothing. Top of the order for the Cardinals. It'll be Brock, Templeton, and McBride. They have their work cut out for them. Try to score some runs. Let's see here. 5-5 for Royce is a walk plus to a lefty. Walks is a 7. The plus makes it a 17. -2 is a 15. That's a 3. We got a walk to Lou Brock. Strategy rolls are still in place. His attempt is a 9. Cannot get the lead, so he holds. Here's Gary Templeton. 1-6, range play. The infield is halfway. Cognizant of that. 5-2 is a star 3. Ground ball to third. Range is 4 for Garner, but he's halfway. It makes him a 3. So 3 for the range play. And he gets to it, so now it's a chance for a double play. He's a 2. Nothing there. Halfway makes him a 3. The pivot at second. Stennett's a 0. So it's a 1-3 for a double play. And they turn it. 5-4-3 around the horn. Double play. Second double play turn by the Pirates in this game. 2 quick outs, and all of a sudden now, Jake McBride. 3-2 from Royce as a strikeout. That's a 9. He strikes out as a 12. Stadium only takes 1 away. The 11 fits. It's a strikeout. And Jerry Royce has pitched 6 shutout innings at the Cardinals. And he is on a proverbial roll. Bottom of the 6th we go. Do it for the Pirates. Stennett, Garner, and Dyer. Now, Denny can face 26 batters. Right now, he has faced a total of 23. So the Cardinal bullpen is active. And it looks like in their bullpen, they are looking to bring in right-hander John Sutton. John Sutton is loosening in the St. Louis bullpen in case he is needed. Here's Rennie Stennett. Stennett is 2 for 2, a double and a single. 6-6 walk plus. But he only walks at an 8. Plus makes it an 18, but the stadium takes away 2 for a 16, so he does not walk. But he will swing. 3-5. Star 1, that's a ground ball to Keith Hernandez, 1 away. So 3 Rivers cost Stennett that base on balls. Here's Garner, 0 for 2. That's a 5-4. 5-4 is a strikeout chance, and that's a 1, so he's definitely out of there on strikes. Second time Garner's been struck out. 2 down. 3-2 for Denny, and that's a walk plus, so he will walk Dyer for sure. And that will allow Royce to bat. But now Denny is tired. He has faced, this is batter 27. He's faced 26, so he is tired. But with 2 outs and the pitcher batting, they're going to let him pitch to Royce. They will let him have a stab at Royce. 6-5 is a blank. We go to Royce. 2-2, it's a ground ball to short, and that's going to end the inning. That's going to probably be all for Denny. Almost certainly. So Denny's going to go 6 innings, and he's going to give up 1, 2, 3, 4 hits, 3 runs. They were all earned because the error didn't matter. Let's check walks. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3 walks, and one of them was intentional, makes it a 4th walk. Strikeouts 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's Denny for you. But it is a quality start. Hate that term. But anyway, that's a whole nother discussion. So that's all for John Denny. He will exit. John Sutton will be the new pitcher for the Cardinals in the bottom of the 7th. Right now, it'll be Hector Cruz coming up to hit against Mr. Royce. Royce can face 27 batters. He's only faced 21, so he's definitely good to go. One 5. That's a wild pitch. We treat it as a blank, and we go to Hector Cruz. 2-3, single to short. So Hector Cruz with a base hit. And strategy rolls are still on. Tempt is only a 1, though. Nothing happening. Here's Ted Simmons. 4-6. That's a range play. Infield is halfway. 2-4, and that is a split chance against a lefty as a fly to left, but it's a range play, so it almost doesn't matter. It's a fly to left. Al Oliver's range is a 4. And he gets to it. Fly to left field. 1 away. So it took the potential single or double away from Simmons. 1 down for Keith Hernandez. Royce 4-1, strikeout 3, got him. Keith Hernandez out on strikes. 2 down, and for Ken Reitz. Two, 4, and that is a double question mark. He's not tired, so we come over here. 1-10 is a single. 1-15 against righties is a single. That's a 2. It's a base hit. S1 to get from first to third on an S1. You need a 4 or better. Cruz is only a 2 with 2 outs, makes him a 3. It still doesn't qualify, so he will hold at second base. And that will send up Mike Tyson. And a pinch hitter will be on deck if Tyson reaches. Looks like Joel Youngblood has picked up a bat and would hit if Tyson reaches. 2-3 is a range play at the park. Number 3 River Stadium for a range play. 6-3 is a ground ball to short. We're checking the range of Taveras. His range is a 4. 1-4, the inning will be over. And it is. So successful range play takes care of business. And that's going to do it for the Cardinals in the top of the 7th. We will go to the bottom of the 7th. Still a 3-0 ball game. Royce can face 27 batters. He has faced 26. So he's pitching a shutout, though. So I think he's going to probably end up coming back and pitching the 7th. So we'll keep him in there. New pitcher for the Cardinals will be John Sutton. So Sutton is your pitcher for the Cardinals. We're not going to do a double switch. He's just going to pitch. Well, we might because he can go 7 batters. So, yep, we will. RJL, watch your hockey. Don't watch this. We're doing a double switch. So let's see on the Cardinal bench who might want to be switched out. Possibly Ken Reitz or Hector Cruz. They're both candidates. Let's see what we might want to do here. They're going to. Well, it's bad. They're going to substitute for Hector Cruz, bring in Tony Scott. So Tony Scott will bat 9th and play right field, where he's better than Cruz for sure. He's a 4.00, so that's a whole lot better than the 2.70. He runs at a 4. And the pitcher spot, Sutton will come there. So leaving the game will be Hector Cruz. Hector Cruz is out of there. And Tony Scott will actually be leading off the next inning when it's time. Is the hockey game over, or he's just saying how the game ended in regulation was wild. I think that's what he was talking about. No, there's no ghost runners here. You're not going to find any ghost runners here. No way. But it is the 7th inning stretch, and you know what that means. That means we have Take Me Out to the Ball Game. So if you want to stretch with me, we're going to have Take Me Out to the Ball Game. All right. Actually, the version is somebody named Nancy Bay Heffley from Dodger Stadium. I guess she was an organist in Dodger Stadium. That's what I'm using for the Take Me Out to the Ball Game, in case you were curious. That's what I'm using. So anyway, we are now at the 7th inning stretch. Yeah, Brian B. Their bench is not uh, the greatest in the world. Kirkpatrick, but I don't know. Let me check Kirkpatrick. He's a 3, but he's an E19. That's possible. We could bring in Kirkpatrick in his Milwaukee Brewer uniform. Could bring him in for Stargell, but I don't know. If we need a double switch, that's a good possibility because he doesn't come up to bat for a while. But we'll figure it out. All right, so John Sutton. Don Sutton. John Sutton, not to be confused with Don Sutton. Johnny Sutton, as it says. 2-1 with a 2.59 earned run average in 24 and a third innings pitched. Facing Moreno here in the bottom of the 7th of a 3-0 Pirates lead. 2-3, strikeout chance, 14. Too high. No, it's not too high. Take it back. He's facing a righty, so it's a 15 minus 1 to 14. It fits. Moreno is out on strikes. Moreno down on K's. Here's Taveras. 4-1. That's the ballpark card going to Three River Stadium. 6-4, and that is a star 4, which is going to be a ground ball to third. So Ken Reitz takes care of Taveras. 2 down for Dave Parker. Cobra. 3-5, and that's a strikeout chance, but 20 is too high. Parker gets a chance, 2-5, and he's going to single right up the middle into center field. 2-out single for Parker. His attempt is a 3. Cannot get the lead, so he will hold. Here's Al Oliver. 6-4, strikeout chance, but that's too high. Go to Oliver. 1-5, and that's a ground ball to short to end the inning. So we go to the 8th. It's still 3-0 Bucks. And Tony Scott will lead off for the Cardinals as he came in on that double switch. Tony Scott will lead things off. This is batter 27 for Royce, so he will be tired after this. Look at the bullpen. It looks like they're going to be looking at... Who would they be looking at here? Looking at Kent DeColvey, loosening in the bullpen. 10-1 with 7 saves and a 3.06 ERA. Goose Gossage is the closer. DeColvey's kind of the setup guy, so we're looking at DeColvey possibly coming into the ball game. Royce, that's a leaner, so I'm going to re-roll that. That yellow die is leaning against. I mean, you could call it a 5, but it's not flat, so I'm going to re-roll it. 3-6 for Royce as a strikeout chance, but 20 is too high. And a 5-6 would have been a walk plus to a lefty, blank to a righty. So since he's a switch hitter, we were going to Scott's card anyway, so it ends up being no difference. 1-5's ground ball to second. Now Tabby has opened the door again. See if she wants to come in this time. She did. But I don't think she wants to get up on the table. She's just in here. You might hear her, though. It's possible you might hear her making noise. Tabby. 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 Slight feline delay. All right, you want to sit on your perch? You sit on your perch. What do you want to do? Now she wants to come in here for like 10 seconds, make a cameo, and then now she wants to go back out again. So let me let you out, Tabby. Here you go. All right. Don't know why she does that, but she's a cat, so I can't figure that out. Haven't figured a cats out. I've had cats for 20 something years and I still haven't figured them out. So she's got food on her plate downstairs if she wants it. So there's plenty of food down there. She knows exactly where it's located. I just put it down when I got home at 8:30 tonight. I just put down a fresh thing of food, so she's all set. So she knows where it is. All right, here's Lou Brock. And Royce is now tired, so we'll keep an eye on the tire results. But since he is scheduled, they might end up in his hitting spot, so they're going to go ahead and let him keep an eye on him. 6-6 strikeout chance, 9. Got him. Got Lou Brock. Out on strikes, 2 down. Here's Templeton. They're going to see if they can get 8 innings out of Royce. 5-6. That is a blank to a switch hitter batting right-handed. Go to Templeton. 5-3, star 6, fly to right field. Parker puts it away, and that's going to do it for Royce. He has definitely done a job on the Cardinals. 8 shutout innings. 8 shutout innings. Do it for the Pirates. We will have Stargell, Stennett, and Garner against Sutton. We'll see if Tekulve's ready. If they need him in the bullpen, he is ready. But the way that Royce is pitching, he might want to go all the way. But we'll see what happens. Bottom of the 8th, 3-0. Here's Stargell. 6-4, strikeout chance, 15. Got him. Stargell out on strikes. Here's Rennie Stennett. 6-2, strikeout chance. 4 is too high. He's a 4, but the stadium takes 1 away. So no strikeout. 4-3, and that is a single past third base. So Stennett is aboard. Strategy rolls are off with the 3-run difference in the 8th inning. Strategy rolls are off. So here's Garner. 4-1. That's the ballpark card going to Three River Stadium. 6-4. That's a star 4, which is a ground ball to third. He is a +2 on the double play. How about that? He's a 3. +2 is a 5. Halfway makes him a 6. The pivot is, let's see, it was a star 4, right? So the pivot then would be the second baseman, Tyson. He's a +1, so that makes it a 7. So basically, anything other than a 6, we got a double play. And we do. So it's a 5-4-3 double play to end the inning. And that will do it for the Pirates. We go to the top of the 9th, score 3-0. McBride, McBride, the pitcher spot, a pinch hitter for Sutton. And then Simmons is due up for the Cardinals. Do they want to bring? I think they're going to stick with Royce because of the left-handers that's coming up. So now on the bench for the Cardinals, they have right-handed options. They do have Joe Youngblood in his Mets uniform if they want to use him. Who else is pretty good from the right side? Well, Roger Freed, and this may be gaming the system, but he's a 398 hitter in 83 at bats. So he's a possibility. Jerry Mumphrey's a 287 as a switch hitter. So we'll figure it out as we go. We'll figure out the best way to go. Right now it is McBride. He'd start out against Royce. Let's see how many hits Royce has given up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He scattered 6 hits, pitching a 6-hit shutout right now. So they're going to see if he can finish what he started. 2-4. He cannot. He just hit the fatigue roll, so he's got to come out. That's a 10, so it's a base hit. McBride with the base hit, and that's going to do it. He's going to have to come out, and it won't be DeColvey, after all, will be Goose Gossage as we are in the ninth inning. So Goose Gossage will be coming on to pitch for the Pirates. Goose Gossage. And they will double switch with the first baseman, Stargell, and bring in Kirkpatrick. And Kirkpatrick will bat ninth. So let's do some administrative duties. So batting in the ninth position is Kirkpatrick. Okay, are we back is the question. I think we're back, but somebody can let me know. Okay, we are back. All right, I don't know when it cut off. I just happened to notice it, but in case it didn't show up on the video, I'm not sure what did or what didn't. I did do a double switch. We brought in Goose Gossage because McBride got to base it off Royce off his fatigue rule, so he had to come out. So we brought Goose Gossage in to try to close it, but the pitcher spot was coming up second. So I brought in Ed Kirkpatrick to play first base and bat ninth. Gossage is going to pitch and bat fifth, so he comes in to close the deal, but it's a double switch. And I also brought in Dave Rader to pinch hit for the pitcher Sutton. So Sutton's going to go 2 innings, and he's going to give up 2 hits, no runs, no walks, and 2 strikeouts in relief. But it's 3-0. Top of the ninth. Runner at first is McBride. Nobody out. And Dave Rader's the batter. Strategy rolls are still off. And here's Gossage to Rader. 4-5. That is a strikeout plus, and he got him. So the Goose comes in and strikes out Rader, the pinch hitter, for out number 1, and that's going to bring up Ted Simmons, followed by Keith Hernandez. Yep, special K for Goose, but that one was already a K, so we got a break on that. 3-5, and that is a strikeout plus as well. He strikes out as a 5. The plus makes it a 15. -1 from stadium's a 14. That is a 14. Simmons goes down on strikes. So Goose comes in, not messing around, striking out the first 2 he faces. And it's up to Keith Hernandez to keep it going. 3-6, that is a blank against the lefty. So Hernandez gets to swing. 2-6, that is a star 6 fly ball to center field. And that's going to do it as Moreno puts it away. And the Pirates shut out the Cardinals 3-0. 3-0. The winning pitcher is Royce. The loser is Denny. The save goes to Gossage. Gossage went 1 inning, so no runs for Royce. 1 inning, no hits, no runs, no walks, and 2 strikeouts. So totals 3 runs, 6 hits, and I don't believe either team. No, there was 1 error on the Cardinals. And let's see, 7. So it's 0-7, no runs, 7 hits, and 1 error for the Cardinals. 3 runs, 6 hits, no errors for the Pirates. Again, winning pitcher is Jerry Royce. Losing pitcher is John Denny, and Goose Gossage gets the save. So there you have it from Three Rivers Stadium on April the 7th. I am using a Stratmatic computer to sim the other games in 1977 in the National League. But the next game we'll be playing will be April 8th. We'll be in Houston in the Astrodome. It'll be Andy Messersmith against J.R. Richard. That will be the next game, probably on either Tuesday or Wednesday. There'll be a Strat game in there somewhere. Orioles and the Twins from 1987. But that's going to do it from here. I'm assuming the hockey game is still going on. I might go back and catch the end of that if it's still going on in overtime. I was thinking I'd get this game in while the hockey game was just about over, but obviously going to overtime put a kibosh on that. I do appreciate you guys sticking with me and following through on the game despite the hockey game being out there, trying to juggle both or whatever you guys were doing, but do appreciate it. And Tomorrow night, I will try to get the Stratomatic game in with the Cardinals and the Twins. If I do, it'll be kind of late, probably around 9ish, because I got a church thing tomorrow night. So we'll see how that works with my schedule. But I will try to get something done and keep the games rolling. That's my goal, especially with RJL taking the week off. So anyway, there you go, Brian B. You got your lineup boards the way you wanted it. But that's going to do it from here. St. Louis gets shut out by the Pirates, and Jerry Rolls Royce. He was definitely pitched like a Rolls Royce, that's for sure. If everybody's curious how I store my stuff, people have their own way of storing things, but this is how I store my inside pitch teams with these little plastic envelopes here. I just put them right in here, the stadium card right on top. Very easy to spot, and they're all good to go. But you can store them any way you want to. Same with the Pirates. Do them the exact same way. So as we look ahead in the 1977 game of the day kind of thing, we'll see just by the lineup boards who the next two games are. Like I said, tomorrow's game is the Braves and Astros. Those are the bench and bullpens for both those teams. And then on April 9th, it'll be Montreal and Philadelphia. That'll be a great pitching matchup. Steve Rogers against Steve Carlton. A couple of Steves on that one. So those are the next two games in this 1977 inside pitch game of the day. And again, Stratomatic will be looking at the Twins and the Orioles from the Homer Dome in Minnesota. So, hope you all are having a wonderful Sunday evening or whenever you're watching this. Hope you enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however choose to play it. And Tabby says farewell, and we will see you all down the road.